All right. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Shit, I need to send in pics too, don't I? It's Wednesday. Crap. Ari was smoking them tonight. Ari smokes them every night, dude. She friggin' beast, bro. Beast, bro. Yeah, I'm coming in here. I got back from tennis and I had to reset all my cameras and all this sort of stuff. I got a new camera coming too. It should be here soon. So that people in my portrait live can see me in as good of quality as people on my landscape live can. But no, there's some exciting new things coming. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. Ari and I have been talking and building and changing things, so it should be fun. How bad did my daughter beat me? She didn't get me yet, but man, well, see, we were off last week because we were in Cali, and so she came back a little rusty. So she doesn't have me yet, but she's so close. She's so close. We were volleying for like a while. So we'll be there very soon. We'll be there very soon. What am I crying about today? I'll tell you what I'm crying about today. So I bought a new thermostat. And God, I don't like that. I bought a new thermostat and I went to go install it. And it was like trying to walk me through like the wiring on the app and stuff. And I was like, all right, whatever. Oh, how did my compensation go to 0? So I was like, all right, whatever. And so it's walking me through, and then it's like, oh yeah, you don't have the correct wiring for this thermostat. And I was like, oh, all right, well, such is life, I guess. I guess I have to get a new thermostat, And so they were like, oh, you can contact like our customer support or whatever. And I was like, all right, that's fine. I'll do that. And so I do that. And then I had to wait like so many hours in order to get a hold of them for them to tell me I had the right wiring. Yeah. Was not a big fan of that today. So that's what I'm crying about today. I'm annoyed by having to do that. But I mean, I got it changed. It works now. See, what happened was, so I had like an old school thermostat, right? Like I actually had my air conditioner changed like earlier this year. And I had like an old school thermostat. Someone said stay away from Nest. It's actually funny. And the Airbnb I was in, they actually had a Nest thermostat, and I was like, oh my god, I like this so much better than mine. Because at least it's like a smart thermostat. It's like Wi-Fi controlled, all sorts of stuff. I can do all that stuff. So I went to go buy a new thermostat, and I was actually really considering the Nest one. Funny enough. And is today my birthday? Yesterday was my birthday. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. And yeah, so I was gonna get the Nest one, and my daughter, who's like 15, is like, you should get Ecobee. And I'm like, what the heck is Ecobee? And she's like, they're really good thermostats. And so, like me, this is how dumb I am. um I go to like change my like I go to like I don't even like my 15-year-old tells me to buy a thermostat. I don't even question it. I don't think about it. I don't like wonder why my 15-year-old knows about thermostats. Nothing. I just go and buy it. Like no thought whatsoever. Anyways, I installed it today, and so we'll see how it works. I had a Honeywell. I just didn't have a. I didn't have a. It was like an old school like Honeywell. It wasn't like a one that I could do stuff with. But anyways, I installed my Ecobee thermostat today. We'll see if I like it or not. I got like the cheapest one, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm just so dumb. I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna buy thermostats just because 15-year-olds tell me to. Like, it's times like those when I'm like, I'm not too bright, am I? You know? You ever just have those moments where you're just like, I must not be the brightest. I must not be the brightest crayon, you know? Feisty, you missed me yesterday? You missed me on my birthday, Feisty? Wow. Wow. Did Feisty you missed me on my birthday? How did she know about? I didn't think so. I was like, I thought she was here. She said I missed you yesterday. I was like, I could have swore Feisty was here yesterday. How did my daughter know about Ecobee? I have no idea. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. Oh, you stopped by. I thought I saw you for a bit. I see what you're trying to say here, and you're like, for the squad or whatever. But like SAG squad sounds funky, doesn't it? It sounds funky. I know it's SAG, but it sounds like SAG. That's what it reads like. Sounds weird. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Okay. All right. We don't need to be talking about things sagging. All right, around this piece. Pixie, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Big difference in chat for joining it for Pixie. I thought you were already a member. That's the second person. Kuhn also was like, I thought was a member, and then all of a sudden, like, just joined a member. I don't know. Thought you were already a member. Woo. All right, let me see if I can get everything set up over here so we can start taking some calls, taking some guests, taking all that sort of stuff. You have 2 accounts. That explains it. And they're both. See, some of y'all aren't even out there being members. And Pixie's a member on two accounts. All right. Yes, I do have the same birthday as Juice WRLD. So my birthday was yesterday. I do have the same birthday as Juice WRLD, and I believe Britney Spears. I'm hoping neither of those are my future. I know Juice WRLD. Of course I know Juice WRLD. I like how Ari's posting in there about my birthday week. It's so fun. Like I don't think do guys get birthday weeks? I thought that was I didn't know like I don't think I get birthday weeks. Ari gets like birthday month. Okay. Do I need to hang my birthday sign back up? I'll do it. I'll hang the birthday sign back up. Okay. Birthday year? I get a birthday year? Y'all are too sweet. Y'all are too sweet. Birthday quarters? I like it. Birthday. We're just gonna celebrate. We're gonna celebrate Polly's birthday for the rest of the month. Tara says she always celebrates her birthday for a month. Treat yourself. Okay? Treat yourself, queen. All right. Loyalty, thank you so much for the $2 super chats. Loyalty says, Polly, I'm ready to see you teach the unteachable. I'm going to do my best. We already have had a few phone calls already this evening, which I'm really happy to see, getting the thing started off well. I am about to turn on the phone line, so if you've already tried to call, I apologize. I didn't have the phone turned on yet while I'm just BSing. But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for loyalty. And CJ, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. Another big W's in the chat for CJ for the 5 gifted. Who got those? Can I check those out? I love seeing they're always in my landscape live. I'm telling you guys, if you guys want to get gifted a membership, that's the place to be. I'll tell you. But cookies, Danielle, Anita, Karina, and 12 dot something like that. Whatever your name is. Also got membership, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much, CJ. I really, really do appreciate that. That's very, very sweet. Someone said new lighting. First of all, not new lighting. I did change the positioning of my lighting. I did change the positioning of my lighting, so thank you for noticing. Hopefully you guys like it. It looks good. You guys like it? I gave it a different angle. I'm trying to stop my camera from white balancing me out. All right, phone lines are open. If you called earlier, I'm sorry again. I hadn't had the phone line opener. I didn't have the phone lines open or anything like that. But thank you so much, Chase. Thank you so much for the 2 jewels for the 100. Alan, thank you so much for the 100, and loyalty. Thank you so much for the 100. Also, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys think it looks a little crisper, a little cleaner with the lighting in this spot? Much less strain on the balance. That's what I was thinking, Drawn. Again, I'm not qualified to be doing any of this. There's only one thing I'm qualified to do, and that's talk into this microphone. All the rest of this stuff, I am very confused about. All right? I am consistent. There's just numbers and things on my screen. I don't know what I'm doing. All right? I'm not qualified to do any of this thing. If I need a producer so bad it's scary. Cuz I don't know what the hell I'm doing, dude. I know how to talk into this thing. That's it. That is all. Okay, all the rest of this stuff is very confusing to me. I wish I was one of those tech people that understood that.
It's insane.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, sir.
And why would you do that?
Oh, fuck you, bitch.
Well, that's not very nice. All right. Well, guess we're starting out with the crash out. That was interesting. This is why I generally don't talk to 19-year-olds. All right. They don't have some of them. I know, Ari, I was waiting for you to stop pinning stuff. Stop yelling at me, okay? VJ, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said Keith Burton sent you a $50 super chat to wish you a happy birthday yesterday. I want to make sure that they got a shout out as you promised. Is Keith here? Keith, if you're here, say something. Keith 100% did send me a $50 super chat. I'd already shut down the live and gotten like everything closed out, and then it flashed. It was so wild. It was like last second. But that did happen. Keith, if you're here, thank you so much. And if you're not here, when Keith does come here, someone let me know so I can thank him. All right? Someone let me know so I can thank him. Thank you so much, VJ. I appreciate that. And Loyalty said, like I said, unteachable. That I didn't even get to try to teach that guy anything. That was just instant crash out. That was all that was. That was all that was. Well, I had someone in my TikTok chat that said he wanted to debate me. He kept calling me scared. But apparently he got scared and ran away. So that's okay. He wanted to slur but got scared. That's a possibility. That's a total possibility. God, I gotta get rid of this. I don't like this on my landscape live. It sits too high. It like covers my face. I don't like that. Anyways, phone lines are open now. If you still support Trump, come on in, say hi. Try to do a little bit better than that last guy. He obviously had some I don't know, something going on with him. Let me kind of move this over here a little bit. Yeah, let's move that there. I like that. Hello, how are you? Hello? All right, goodbye. We're off to a bang today, y'all. Feisty, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Huge W's in the chat for Feisty with the 10 gifteds. Wowzer, Francesca's already. Francesca already has one. What are we talking about? 10 Deep, someone else, Emo Gamer, Baby Hot Pocket. Sorry, these names are wild. James, Allora, like the Italian Allora. Susan, Aaron. Oh, sorry, Aaron. Sorry, not Aaron. It was Aaron that got one. Big Brian. All with the gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Feisty. I really, really appreciate that. Oh, Eric's with the gamer cat too. Just right on top of that. Someone said I'd like the gifted membership. I'm telling you, there's. I know where they're at. I know where they usually are. Thank you so much for the gifteds. I really appreciate you, Feisty. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I keep telling people, like, there is one specific section of live where gifted seem to come a little bit more often. That's all I'm saying. I am not right now, it's frustrating the hell out of me, so I'm just kind of off it for a bit. I'll reconsider later. Loyalty also with a gifted membership received by GRX something. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gifted. All right. Well, hopefully we can get this thing going today. It's always a little harder, especially on nights when I get on a little later to get this thing going with some guests, but I'm sure we will get some Trump supporters in here at some point. Either in the chat or the phone call. They're not going to hang around. They're not going to stay away forever. That's the truth. I know that. They're not going to stay away from it. You were gone too long. Next time your vacation can only be 2 days. Well, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll try to take less vacation days next time. Okay. I took vacation. To make up for my vacation times, I came back on my birthday. All right. I thought that was a pretty even deal. I took like 5 days off. I came back the day before my birthday and then came here on my birthday. I think that's pretty fair. I know. How dare I have a life? Honestly, I'm sick of it. I think we should get rid of that real quick. Hello?
Let's go, Trump. Let's go. Let's go,
Bro,
Trump.
go play with
Let's
Legos,
go.
dude.
Shut your bitch ass up with your 4.
Jesus Christ. It is a Wednesday night. Don't you have homework to be doing? There's definitely something that you should be doing that's not up here talking about Trump, bro. I don't know how old you are, but I you know what I will tell you? Girls exist. You should try talking to one at some point, because if you keep on this stretch of things, you're going to end up as one of those incels that's complaining how girls don't like them. It's like, why don't girls like me? It's because when you should be talking to them, you're up talking about Trump on a live. It's weird. Or boys, if
Hello?
that's what you're into, go talk to someone. Go touch grass. Okay? Hi, how are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 18.
Awesome. Were you reborn?
I was born 2002.
And you're 18?
Yep.
That's pretty impressive. How'd you pull that one off?
So I have a time machine. You ever seen Back to the Future?
You have a DeLorean.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. I found one at the thrift shop.
You found a DeLorean at the thrift shop. That is impressive.
I know. Yeah.
MAGA, please raise your children so I don't have to. Also, teach them basic math. All right? Teach them basic math. All right? Like, minus 18 from the current year should not be a difficult math equation. It really shouldn't be. You know? Like, this should not, like, is this Common Core math? Is this how Common Core math works? Maybe this is what I miss with Common Core. Apparently, 23 equals 18. Hello, how are you?
You're fucking ugly, bro. You're ugly as fuck. Fuck you, Biden. Fuck you, Biden. You're a fucking bitch. You're a fucking bitch. Fuck you, Biden. Fuck your YouTube.
I'm not
bitch.
Biden.
Fuck that Biden. You're a bitch. Fuck that Biden. Ugly ass hair. Your mom's a whore. Your dad's a slut. Your mom's a whore, bitch. Fuck your butt. Yeah, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck your live stream. Nigger, 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 nigger.
I just let him keep going. I figured he would run out of steam eventually. That was as much as his brain could handle. Could you hear it? Like, oh, you could hear it overwhelming him. Did you see that? He was so expecting me to hang up on him so fast that he didn't pick out any words past, like, you're ugly. He didn't have any other words after that. So I was trying to see how long his brain could keep up, like how long he could ad lib, and it was about 2 seconds. That one brain cell was giving it all he had. Okay. That one brain cell was giving it all he had. He could not handle a singular more thing, like a singular other thing. I think he called me Biden. I'm pretty sure that just happened. I'm pretty sure he just called me Biden. Which means he's having a real rough day. Because I've been told I look like a lot of people. Okay. People that I look nothing like. I've heard Obama. I've heard, I've heard Tim Duncan. I've heard crazy shit of people that Tiger Woods. I've heard crazy shit about people that I look like. Okay. Not Biden. I have never at any point been told that I look like Joe Biden. All right. That would be a new one. Just here. Hello? All right, goodbye. Genuine with glasses. That's kind of crazy. All right. Zendaya. I look like Zendaya. Sorry, hello?
Wow, you got some clowns on there, bro.
I look like Zendaya. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Holy shit.
You just let dude run out of breath, huh?
Yeah, man. They're not too smart sometimes.
No, very unintelligent. Okay, I wanted to ask you something.
What's up?
What you think? Okay, calm down, baby. How do you feel about Trump and APAC and ADL and all this shit?
You're gonna have to get more specific.
Okay, what's your stance on APAC donating to or lobbying most of Congress and the Senate?
I think that money should be out of politics in general, regardless of who's doing it.
I totally agree.
It's
Do you
insane.
think politicians are paid to fight foreign wars?
I don't know. They're paid to do a whole bunch of stuff that's against the interests of the American people. I know that.
Shouldn't that be called treason?
It should be. Unfortunately, it's called the American political system.
How could we change it?
Undo our political
Vote
system.
is out the picture. I don't think we could vote this away, bro.
No, we have to. You could. It would need the right people to be voted. You'd have to vote the right people into place, so therefore they could vote for it. That's the way that would have to work. We would actually have to get new representatives in Congress that would actually vote for things to actually eliminate things like insider trading, to remove money from campaigning, to shorten up campaigns, so that's not an issue anymore. Most countries don't have this problem, right? They don't run year and a half long elections that cost tens of millions, if not more money, right, in order to get into political office. Most countries don't have this issue. They found a way to limit the amount of money that is spent on campaigns, the amount of time that's spent on campaigns. We're the only ones that, for some reason, keep money in it, and that because of that, even the most well-intentioned politicians, I think, get into office, and in order to keep their spot, they sell out to whoever, and that burn the American people in order for them to keep their position. I think there's very few people in politics that probably haven't done that. Like your Bernies, your AOCs.
More of a corporation than a country.
We have not become a corporation. We've become what's the name of it? Kleptocracy?
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah,
I'm missing words right now for some reason. Maybe that was the running around all this stuff before this. But we become a country that is ran by corporations. Yeah. So, and that's what happens when you're allow corporations to pay off. I mean, we literally have corporations right now walking into the president's office handing him gold bars, right? Like we're not even trying to hide the fact that corporations are influencing our politics. We're not even trying anymore.
What do you think about dismantling the Federal Reserve?
For what purpose?
Go back to the gold standard.
We can do that without dismantling the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, but doesn't the Federal Reserve hold like a lot of interest with other countries? And
Corpocracy. Sorry, that was the word. Corpocracy.
yeah,
That's the word for it. Anyways.
so you think we could go back to the gold standard without dismantling the Federal Reserve?
Yeah. And when was the Federal Reserve established?
I'm not quite sure.
Let's see. That would be December 23rd, 1913.
13, yeah.
And we left the gold standard in 1933 when it took us off the domestic gold standard, and finally 1971 when Nixon ended the international convertibility of the U.S. dollar to gold. So we ran in the United States with a Federal Reserve and under the gold standard for quite a long time.
Didn't we demolish it, or didn't we take it down once and then they had to vote for it to go back up again, and then they reestablished it?
Yeah. Yeah. But again, going back to the gold standard, even at this point could kill us. I don't even think it's possible to do so, but getting rid of the Federal Reserve isn't even necessary to do that. Right. Like, but this whole idea, I think that people really have this idea that it's like, oh, we still need to go back to something. We need to go back to something. We need to go back to something. We need to go back to this.
We need to go forward.
We don't need to go back to anything. We don't need to go back to the gold standard. We don't need to demolish the Federal Reserve. We don't need to do any of that. We need to figure out what is right for right now, what is right to move forward, right? How we figure out how to fix what's going on right now. And going backwards isn't going to undo the damage that's already been done, right? Going back right now just creates more damage.
Yeah.
So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm just disappointed on how the 1%, one billionaire has the power of 100, what is it? I think it's like 10 million voters.
I don't know. I mean, if you're first of all, the idea that we have even billionaires is crazy, right? Like the entire idea of a billionaire is an insane thing, right? I was actually talking to somebody about
1940s. They had 13 of them, and today there's like 800 or 900 just in the United States.
Well, it's actually really funny. I was talking to somebody about, because well, not yet, but in like a year or so, year and a half, I'm looking at buying a new car, and my cousin, drives a Tesla. And it was like, oh, it's just a shame that their CEO is like a piece of shit. And it's like, yeah, but like every CEO of every car company is also a piece of shit. Like Elon's just louder about how he's a piece of shit. They're all pieces of shit, right? There is no CEO of any Fortune 500 company that's a good person. There is no good billionaire. Any good billionaire would have used their money for good, and they never would have gotten to the amount of money that they got, that they're even at. So that doesn't even make any sense. To
become a billionaire, you have to fuck over a tremendous amount of people.
100%. No, Bill Gates included. You are not. If you are a billionaire, you are not a good person. Period. Exactly. I don't care what and like I like I'm a Mark Cuban fan. I don't care. If you're a billionaire, you're not a good person, because there's a lot of things you could have done with that money, and you chose to hoard it to become a billionaire.
Exactly. So, greed is killing our country.
Yeah, I agree. But anyways, I'm gonna move on just so I can open it up and see if I can get some some debates in here. But
where do you lean? Do you lean left, right, center?
I don't lean anywhere. I'm all the way to the left. I jumped over the line and took a few steps.
I'm center. I'm financially. Well, I'll just let you get on, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, go ahead. Say it. Finish it.
Well, I'm fiscally.
You're fiscally conservative and socially liberal.
Exactly.
Yeah. So fiscally conservative has gotten us where? The last 10 recessions have been under Republican presidents.
Yeah, but I'm saying with my money, I'm conservative. Like, not. You know what I mean?
No, I don't, because when we talk about being fiscally conservative, you mean that you have conservative views towards the way that the United States uses their money. How you do your personal finances does not make you fiscally conservative. That makes you maybe thrifty. You know what I'm saying? But fiscally conservative means that you align with more conservative ideals of the way the United States should spend their money.
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
a smart young man, bro.
I'm not that young, unfortunately, but
Well,
kind of
I'm
smart, I guess.
41. Yeah, you are intelligent. You're an intelligent young man. I caught you on the on YouTube, and I said, let me call him up because I heard this dumbass just screaming a bunch of like negative shit, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, there's some screamers tonight. They're a little off tonight, but yeah,
Well, I'm
go
gonna
ahead,
go
hit that
ahead and
subscribe
subscribe,
button,
bro.
just like
Have a
everybody
wonderful
else should hit
night.
that subscribe button over there and follow button. And I hope you have a good one. All right.
You too, brother.
All right. Bye bye. Yeah, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, sorry, that idea of being like, and this is this is just how lots of people are in the United States. By the way, phone lines are open, guest box is open if you still support Trump. That's how a lot of people talk about. They say they're fiscal conservatives, but they're socially liberal. We're past that time, guys. That was a great way to be 20 years ago. Okay? It doesn't exist anymore. The Republican Party is not fiscally conservative. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
I am 19.
Awesome. So why do you still support Trump?
What? I was actually just coming in to ask a question about yellow journalism.
About what?
Yellow journalism.
Man, that doesn't sound like anything I want to talk about.
Oh, okay, cool. It was just
I don't even know what it is, but I don't think I want to talk about it. Anyways, yeah, we're very far from being fiscally conservative, right? Again, last 10 recessions have happened under Republican presidents. We're at an all-time high when it comes to government spending right now. Every single time we get sorry, Lainey, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Alan, so much for the jewels. I appreciate that. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. Okay. Every single time it's just Republicans putting us into horrific financial situations in this country. And then it's Democrats bailing us out of those exact situations. Right? That's all it is. So I'm tired of hearing about this. Also, on top of that, in order to be to be socially liberal, right? You need money to pay for that, which means you're not fiscally conservative. Unless you're just expecting money to, appear out of nowhere, right? Like, unless you're expecting money my knee just popped. Yeah, you need money to pay for those sorts of things. It's not really about money paying for things. It's where that money comes from. Is really the entire thing. It's where that money comes from. Do you want your tax dollars to go to huge tax cuts for corporations, or do you want them to support the middle and lower classes? That's it. That's the whole thing. Hello, how are you?
You're a piece of shit.
All right, bud. Loyalty, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said you're going to have such a long stream, MAGA crashing out before we can even get to ask any questions. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago where we actually had MAGA, like Trump supporters, that actually wanted to come up and have a conversation. But I really do think, and this is I truly do believe this, right? I believe that between the Epstein files and the war crimes, I don't think there's many left. I just don't think there's some sycophants, and stuff like that. But there's not. I think it's just getting really, really hard to defend. And I understand that. It's just really getting harder to defend. Yeah, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel with the MAGAs now. Sick would be the operative word. It's the truth. It's the truth. But that's okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. Why would you do that?
Well, he's been saving America. And actually, I would say he did what we voted for, but he's actually doing more than we voted for. And I didn't even think we were going to get this far until the next one. So, we only voted him in to start with the deportations of illegals, but now he's talking about remigration. So if he does that, he's going down as the best of all time, except George Washington.
And what's remigration?
That's where you take people's citizenship away, people who are citizenship or who are citizens, and then you deport them.
Actually, no, that's not it. Correct. Have you ever actually looked up what remigration is?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's what he's doing.
It's actually not that at all. Actually, remigration is a European form of ethnic cleansing.
Well, yeah, all the words are European. We invented the language. And yeah, if you don't ethnically cleanse,
Are
then
you
how do
from
get rid
Europe?
of the bad ethnic groups.
Are you from Europe?
No, I'm from America.
Well, then why'd you
Are
say
you from
we?
Africa?
So you're not European, so it's not a we. So anyways,
Well,
it was a
I'm
European
American.
European form of ethnic cleansing. So what you're saying is you're advocating for ethnic cleansing?
So how do you get rid of the bad ethnic groups if you don't cleanse them away?
You don't. And there's no
So you
bad
just let them
ethnic groups.
destroy your country?
What's
No,
a bad
I don't think
ethnic
so.
group?
Like the niggers are pretty bad. I mean the Amerindians, they have reservations, but like the Mexican Amerindians, they have to go for sure.
It's amazing how I asked you which ethnic groups are bad, and you can't even name an ethnic group.
I mean, dude, like these are ethnic groups, you know.
Well, no,
you guys
that's actually not even an ethnic group. That's the sad part. Is you had a chance to actually name an ethnic group you didn't like, and you're too stupid to even name an ethnic group. Like,
No,
if
I named an ethnic group.
sir,
I named several, actually, too.
if you're
right, the
sir,
niggers and the Amerindians. Two ethnic groups.
yeah. If you're going to be racist, be better at it, and don't be so stupid.
No, I'm actually correct, right?
No, you're not. That is not an ethnic group. If you're going to be racist, okay, then be smarter about it. All right. I gave you a chance. All right. I gave you a chance to say something worth talking about. All right. But just be smarter. Guys, racists aren't very smart people, in case you didn't notice. Racists aren't very smart people. They're not very educated. All right. All right, phone lines are open. We'll keep this thing going with the some guests or anything like that. Yeah, there's quite a few racists tonight, aren't there? There are quite a few racists tonight. Loyalty, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said Paul, guess what? I'm guessing the guess what is the 5 gifted memberships right behind that. Thank you so much, Loyalty, for the 5 gifted. Big W's in the chat for Loyalty with the 5 gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
25?
Are you sure about that? Wow, that wasn't even supposed to be a hard question. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. I just saw you on YouTube. You said call you, so I said call you. I just want to give you a shout out and say I wish you the best, brother.
All right. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, have a great day. And I do support all presidents, by the way, but
why would you do
but
that?
I hear you, man, and I wish you the best in what you're doing, and I wish every president the best in what they're doing, brother. Like that's it. That's for me, man.
All right. Well, you should look up Teddy Roosevelt's quote on supporting all presidents, regardless.
Teddy Roosevelt's vote. Okay, I will. I will. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
Again,
no problem.
Great job doing what you're doing, man. Keep it up. I wish you the best.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Did we get the W's in chat for Loyalty yet? Sorry, I think we did that. I didn't see. I don't think I saw enough W's for that. I didn't see enough W's for Loyalty. I'm gonna throw it back up there again. W's in the chat for Loyalty for the 5 gifted. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Oh my goodness. And also Tad, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said Caller's eyes are too close together. His mom's sister should be sad. His uncle daddy's real disappointed. His uncle daddy's real disappointed. All right, phone lines are back up. We're gonna keep this thing going. I appreciate that. So is the guest request box. We're gonna keep this thing going. Hurry, are you? I feel like this is an accident, but I'm gonna bring you up anyway. Hello? No. Someone said if they're gonna be racist, they should do it with their camera on. I know that's RJ's thing, okay? But see, here's the problem, and I love watching RJ, I do. But then I have to see their faces, and I don't like that. I'm very not a big fan of that. It's gross. Hello, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part. All right.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things here and there. Obviously, I don't think everything is going to be perfect, but there was a lot of stuff that I didn't like with Biden's presidency.
Well, sir, you didn't have to like anything with Biden's presidency because Donald Trump wasn't even running against Joe Biden. So you had the choice of choosing neither of them. You chose Donald Trump. I'm trying to figure out why you support him.
I also didn't like Kamala because she said that, you know, she was just going to do the exact same thing that they did in their previous
did not say that.
presidency. She did.
She did not say that
a lot of times.
No, she actually very much did not say that.
She did. It was
she did not
it on
say
a
that.
news site.
No,
Okay, well,
I mean, I can tell you what
fine.
she
She
said.
didn't say it.
I can tell you what she
What?
said that you're misinterpreting.
What was the?
Yeah, she was asked if she would have done anything different, and she said no. Now that is correct. That's a big difference between would I have done anything different in the time when it happened? Like, did we make the best decision as possible on this moment right now? Okay. Or am I going to do anything different in the future? And she was actually very clear about her plan going forward and how her plan was much different than Biden's.
Well, do you mind cluing me in a little bit into what it was that she was planning to do?
I mean, I could, sir, but I mean, it's a little late for that, don't you think?
No, I don't. I mean, look, regardless, she wasn't doing it for me. Look,
What wasn't she doing for you? I'm truly curious because you're already saying things that she didn't say. So I'm just really curious on what she wasn't doing for you.
Realistically, like to me, it just seems like you're being a little nitpicky because what you said to me was close enough to what I was trying to say that made me like, yeah, I didn't approve of what they did in that presidency, and she agreed with what they did. So I was like, okay, that's probably not going to be the person that's going to do something that I'll be happy with. You get what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
That's it. That was really it. That's fine. You don't have to. We don't have to agree with it.
Why'd you ask me, sir? I didn't agree with what Donald Trump did in his first presidency. He put us towards a recession. Freaking didn't shut down the government in time where millions of people died. Freaking stopped, the access to discouraged the access to a vaccine that would have saved millions of people's lives. He made us less safe by freaking distancing us from NATO, and and shortened our middle class and drowned our middle class by giving giant tax to corporations at the expense of the middle class. Those are all things Donald Trump did in his first term, while also not making a single, getting a single promise that he actually, said he was going to do. He said he was going to build a wall and Mexico was going to pay for it. He only ended up building 49 miles of new wall and Mexico didn't pay for it. We paid for it. He said he was going to replace the ACA. He didn't do that at all. He said he was going to lock up Hillary Clinton. He said we didn't do that. He said he was going to reduce insulin costs. He never did that. He said he was going to pass an infrastructure bill. He didn't do that. Donald Trump did none of the things that he said he was going to do in his first term whatsoever. So why would we vote for him?
I mean, look, if you want to get down to like, oh, this person, they missed on this, 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 we could go down the line of every single president that's done that. I'm not saying that he's perfect. See, I'm actually one of those few people that I think hops onto your lives or whatever and actually, like, for me, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really want Trump to be president again, mainly because I knew how divisive of a person he would be in the community. You know, when he was president at first, there was the biggest division that I think I'd seen. And look, while I understand where you're coming from, I don't think that it's just like I don't know, man. This wasn't going on when Biden was president. Like, he was people, yeah, they weren't happy. I was one of those people that was very happy with things that were going on, but it's like whatever. He won, you know.
Well, sir, what
And
I think you're making there's a big distinction from what I'm saying. Okay, you're saying
okay,
could we go through every presidency and find things that they hit on and things that they missed on? 100%, we could totally do that. Okay, I'm saying Donald Trump missed on every single campaign promise that he promised. Every single one.
okay,
Okay,
then
hold on. Now, I'm saying he didn't hit
okay.
a singular one. And now so far, okay, in this presidency, Donald Trump said he was going to end the war between Israel and Gaza in 24 hours. Didn't do that. Still not over. He said he was going to end the war between Ukraine and Russia within 24 hours. Still going on. Still actually stronger than ever. All right. He said he was going to lower grocery prices on day one. Grocery prices are up and still rising. He said he was going to reduce inflation. Inflation hasn't lowered whatsoever. He said he was going to bring in all of these jobs through tariffs. We're losing jobs at an astonishing rate and have the highest unemployment rate since COVID. Right. And so
I'm glad you brought that up again.
Well,
That's
hold on real quick.
what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that's totally fine. But what I'm saying is, sir, is Donald Trump didn't hit on a single campaign promise that he hit in the first term. Right. Now we're at this term. He's again not doing that. Everything that he's doing is a negative to American society, right? It's not helping us in any way, shape, and form. And you're saying that you just didn't vibe with Kamala Harris based off of one misunderstood comment that she says. Well, at least
I mean, it was a mix of things.
Well,
It's
at
just,
least
like,
her plan,
unlike you,
sir. I'll let you.
yeah,
I'm more than happy to let
go
you
for it.
speak. Okay. Well, I was saying, but unlike Donald Trump, where I don't know whether she would have been the best president, whether she would have been a perfect president. Hell, I don't even know if she would have been a good president. Okay. What I do know is that Donald Trump was already a bad president and he still is one. And that Kamala Harris at least had an understanding of what was going on in the United States and had a plan to try to fix it. Now, whether that plan would have worked or not, I don't know. But at least she had one and Trump never did.
well, I mean, we could have gone into that, you know, but you said it was too late for that, which is fine. You know, look, for me personally, the way that you're putting it is a little bit disingenuous with the way that, you know, because I heard that you said like the Democrats come and they have to fix all the mess that Republicans leave. And I mean, that's the thing, like everybody always has their own different policies that come into everything. And I've never looked at it like, like this person comes in and they fix it. Same with like the Democrats. I think that the Democrats have a lot of socialist policies and a lot of things that put a strain on the taxpayers, but that's a whole different animal, right? Just like with what they're dealing with, like you were saying that prices didn't go down in grocery stores, and for me they did. My gas started going back down. The only thing that made everything kind of go up again was the shutdown, which the Democrats kept voting to keep down. The longest shutdown that's ever been.
Sir, gas prices on average across the United States were higher every single freaking month of this entire year than they were last year up until last month.
It got lower for me.
Well,
The
sir,
places I went were lower,
unfortunately, Donald Trump is not the president of your gas station. Okay?
No, he's
He's
not.
the president of the
But-
United States. And in the United States, gas prices were higher on average, okay, across the board, all right, than they ever were, all right, than they were all of last year. Okay, Donald Trump didn't lower your gas prices, nor is really gas prices a presidential stat, but I was just saying that it was. Grocery prices are up across the board. I think like we had things like beef that were up like 20%.
Yeah, but
or
beef,
something like
beef
that.
is a whole different industry. Like
That's
when you
fine,
come
sir.
to-
I don't need just that
all
one.
has to do with the farmers.
I don't need just that one,
Everything-
sir. All grocery prices are up.
Yeah, no, but you're using a bunch of consecutive things, and yeah, it props up your argument very beautifully. It really does. And it's hard to argue everything that you say because I'm like, this is what I was going to say earlier.
I'm just responding to what you're saying.
I can't go down the list of every little thing.
Hold on, sir.
But
Sir,
there's
I want to be
for
very
sure
clear.
key
Hold on.
points.
I just want to be very clear so we can continue this conversation correctly. Okay. I want to be very clear. The only reason I'm going down a list of things is because you're going down a list of things. If you would
No,
like
I
to
didn't.
sing, yes,
I
you are, sir.
replied to
You
one
said
thing that you
specifically,
said.
sir. You said specifically, okay, that grocery prices
Well,
were
let-
down for you and that gas prices were down for you. I am
In response to
addressing
you
both of
saying
those
everything went
comments
up.
because they did.
I was
Okay.
responding to you saying that everything went up.
So if you'd like to
I named two things.
if you'd like to put this more singularly, then we can do that. But please respond singularly
rather
so I
that.
can. Then what would you like to talk about?
Well, that was the thing that we were talking about. That Democrats come in and they have to fix everything the Republicans do. So tell me, if you could explain that to me in more detail, then maybe you could actually change me from Republican to Democrat.
My job is not
Isn't
to
that
change
your
you to
goal
a
here?
Democrat. I could not care less if you're a Republican or you're
to
a
argue
Democrat.
to argue the point,
Okay.
right? Then what's the point here?
Sir, I'm not a Democrat. So why would I be
Well,
trying to change you to Democrat?
Well, I don't know. I thought you were, by the way you were talking.
I am
But
not
alright,
at
that's
all,
fine.
sir. I'm here to have good conversations. And what I was talking about specifically, I didn't say that everything that the Republicans do is bad and the Democrats have to come in and change everything. That is not what I was talking about. I was specifically talking about fiscal conservatism, right? So we had a destruction of the middle class under Reagan, right? Through trickle down economics, the transfer of wealth, right? The Clinton came in and balanced the budget. Then Bush came in. We had the 2008 recession and the 2008 housing bubble pop, right? People lost their houses, like freaking everything crashed, right?
Yeah.
Obama comes in, gets blamed for all the negatives that came from that housing bubble crash and housing bubble pop and, the recession when unemployment shot up to like 14%, right? He got blamed for all the negatives of that, and then he fixed it, right? He fixed it. Economy is humming. By the time he leaves in 2017 or 2017, right? By the time he leaves, we had some of our best economic numbers that we had had in decades, right? Low unemployment, like freaking low, super low inflation. GDP was through the roof. Stock market through the roof, screaming good, right? Trump comes in. All right. And until he does anything, right, while we're still running off Obama's policies, the economy is looking good, then he puts in his own, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, right, which is another form of like Reaganomics, of trickle-down economics. And then boom, we're heading towards a recession. COVID hits. Everybody blames the freaking negatives on COVID, even though some of them were because of COVID. Some of them were because of Donald Trump's policies. Right?
That was more my approach. Yeah, I thought it was mostly COVID.
It was both.
I mean, I trust me, I could see that, and I definitely think, for me, just COVID. Like, let's be honest, that was a big wrench to throw into the whole thing.
Yeah, it was. It saved him, right? Because his economic policies would have been obvious on how bad they were if it wasn't for COVID, right? But regardless, even when if you look at like the 2020 election, right? You heard people like Ron DeSantis, like Nikki Haley talk about how we're going to go into an extreme inflation because of the huge printing of money under the Trump administration. So then Biden comes in. We experience that inflation, the inflation caused by Donald Trump's horrible policies and the inflation caused by COVID, right? Where we had all that. Then Biden gets blamed for all of those negatives. Right. But then Biden puts in his policies and we start recovering at a faster rate than any industrialized nation on the planet. All right. The Wall Street Journal said that by the time that Biden left office, we had the economy that was the envy of the world. All right. We had a lower inflation than the majority of countries, any country that was even near our size economically, we were better than. The only countries in the industrialized world that had an better inflation rate were like tiny little like Norway and stuff like that, right?
Or Poland.
Yeah, smaller countries like that. But anyone that was even close to our GDP, we smoked them, and we were actually even comparable to some of those smaller countries, right? But Biden gets blamed for all of these things that were based off of Donald Trump's policies because we were still under Donald Trump's Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that were still negatively affecting us, and we still recovered it. So then Donald Trump comes back in. Donald Trump starts implementing his policies, and what happened? Prices start going up faster. Inflation starts going up faster. We've lost 1 million jobs this year. 1 million. Okay, across all of these different industries, right? Unemployment rates are at 4.4% now, right? Huge negatives, right? The tariffs are hurting us. Our trade is down. All of these huge negatives are happening. So now we still have 3 more years of Donald Trump for him to continue destroying the economy, for hopefully for us to get a Democrat in, for people just to go, oh, well, all of these things are your fault now, Democrat, and now you have to fix them. And as soon as they get them fixed, they'll put another Republican in to screw it up again. So I'm not saying that everything that Democrats do is right and everything that Republicans do is wrong. That'd be insanity, right? That would make me better than any sycophant. What I'm saying is the track record of Democrats financially, as far as fiscally, they're better. They're just better.
I mean, look, I have to definitely look more into all of that. I'm definitely not qualified to really talk too much on all of that because I haven't done enough research on it. But as far as I know, like right now, like with all the tariffs and everything, I know right now is supposed to be the hardest part of it. I'm one of those people, like, I waited to see what would happen through, like, because when things went up during Biden's thing, it was also because of the oil and the president, like the wars going on and stuff. 'Cause we were doing a lot of support, right?
No, that's not right.
And
Well, I mean, there were
so-
wars. We were doing
yeah,
support.
like they
those
started
two,
it.
yeah, but
not that they started. I mean, but
yeah, but those
yeah,
things
yeah,
didn't have to do with our economy, right? Like, I mean,
Well,
unless
they
you
were
want to talk
sending-
about like the inflationary, parts of the war in Ukraine causing gas prices to go up, because that is something that did happen. That was one of the reasons.
Mhm. That was one of the things that I was paying a lot of attention to, because at that time, like, the gas was way higher than it is now. Even after the shutdown, like, I know some areas they have it way higher than others, and like I don't know if that has to do with who they order it from, right?
Well,
And
I
when
mean,
they order it.
but that was just one small piece of it, right? There was multiple different reasons why gas prices went up.
Yeah.
The largest one was the OPEC Plus deal.
Mm-hmm.
The
What's
OPEC.
that?
So the OPEC Plus deal was actually negotiated by the OPEC Plus countries under the guidance of Donald Trump in 2020.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it was because during COVID we had a lot of oil, and it wasn't all being used because people weren't traveling, things weren't moving, all this sort of stuff. So oil companies were, the price of the barrel had like dropped to nothing. Remember that when like gas was like almost like damn near $1, depending on where you were at, right? It was like really low. Well, the gas companies went to Donald Trump and said, these prices are killing us. We need to find a way for us to be able to raise gas prices. And Donald Trump went to the OPEC Plus countries and asked them to reduce the amount of oil that was being produced across the world. And they reduced the amount of oil that was being produced across the world by about 10 million barrels a day. Right. So that reduction was totally fine while we were still shut down for COVID, but eventually we had to open back up. And once we opened back up, now everybody wanted to move, everybody wanted to travel, everybody wanted to buy everything. And so all of a sudden we needed an
influx of people.
yeah, we needed a whole bunch of oil, right? And we didn't have it because of the deal that was made under the Trump administration. That expired
Was that a temporary thing?
It did. It expired at the end of 2022. And actually, if you look in the beginning of 2023, that is when you actually start to see gas prices start to go down again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I get that. That makes sense. I mean, it's like, I could see, like, it's funny because you even said it yourself, like, at that time it was a little bit, it made more sense, but then, I mean, it makes sense, of course, like, at the end, they didn't really ever know when they were going to open it up again, and yeah, that I could see that having been a problem. I agree with you. Yeah.
Well, the idea is, the problem is not that, whether it was helpful during the time or not, it was only helpful to the oil companies. Right? It totally could have left it the way it is, and we would have benefited. Right? We could have kept having, gas, that cost a nickel or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the oil companies would have suffered, but who gives a shit about them? Why do I care more about
the gas stations?
The gas stations are making money regardless.
Open?
Yeah, the gas stations are making money regardless. Big oil is the one that would have been losing out.
Yeah, they would have lost for sure, but like, if it's like, I mean, for the example, I know probably like 5 cents a gallon is an extreme, but rent for those properties and all that.
Sir, big oil would have been fine. Big oil makes more money off of America than pretty much anybody in America ever has outside of big tobacco. Okay, they would have been fine. They would have taken a hit for about a year while we were shut down and like while things were slowed, and they would have came right back and they would have been stronger than ever. At the same time, Americans would have gotten a much cheaper gas during COVID when we needed it the most because a lot of people weren't working. And then on the reopening, gas prices wouldn't have shot through the roof either.
Aren't gas stations independent from the big oil companies though?
They are. Gas stations charge money on top of what they are charged for the gas that they get. If the OPEC Plus deal had never gone through, they would have been able to get that gas for almost nothing. They would have upcharged that gas a bit to sell to us, and we still would have gotten super cheap gas.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, no, and I could see that for sure. I don't know, like that. There was a lot of things, like, I don't think that was done necessarily on purpose or on a whim to try to help the oil companies, though.
It was.
You get what I mean?
It was specifically to help the oil companies. They specifically asked for it and were granted it. Like, whether Donald Trump had the foresight to understand that it was going to have negative effects in the future, I don't know. Donald Trump doesn't seem to have much foresight on much of anything, if you want me to be completely honest with you. He's very here
Yeah.
now and doesn't really understand that the actions that he makes affects Americans for, in the long term. All right. But
Yeah.
whether
And
he
I look,
understood that or not really doesn't change anything for me. The fact is
Yeah.
that he orchestrated it, and that's what raised gas prices. And then Biden was blamed for gas prices, even though Biden wasn't the one that negotiated that deal.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know like I'm not an economist by any stretch of the means, but I've heard things here and there. Like I try to absorb as much as I can. Like I know there's a lot of panic going on with the tariffs and everything going on, but a lot of the stuff that like there's been downsides in a few different fields, especially like small businesses and stuff like that. They've been struggling. The only thing is like I don't know. I'm optimistic to see what happens later on. I know right now things are gonna slow down. I don't like the what was that thing that he did where like he's gonna bring people over to build chips and stuff like that. Like, that was one of the things that I didn't like, but I forget what it's called. It was the policy for
Are you talking about like H-1B visa stuff or
yes, exactly. Thank you. Like,
yeah.
I wasn't too on board with that, but at the same time, I also get it. It's a new field coming in, so I just hope it will stay that way.
The problem is that chip manufacturing jobs under the Trump administration are dropping like flies. We're losing manufacturing jobs like crazy, right? Not just H-1B visas. I mean, he has suspended a lot of the H-1B visa stuff, but it hasn't helped anything. His tariff policies are destroying business in this country. It's just a simple fact, because that's what tariffs do. They destroy business in your country, especially when you're just putting on tariffs and taking off tariffs and putting them on and taking them off. It can cause instability within the market, and then companies don't want to hire. They don't want to expand. They don't want to manufacture. They don't want to do any of this stuff because they don't know anything in the future. What the market wants is stability, right? That's what the market wants. And you can be mad at, you can bat Biden or not like the way things happen with Biden or whatever, but he was stable. It was stability, right? Donald Trump is the opposite of that. And now people are losing their jobs at a very high rate, right? Again, like 1 million jobs lost like this year, right? We had negative job creation in like July or something like that. Like,
I mean,
it's
and
crazy.
that's including like a lot of different right in the government, the shutdown, like not the shutdown, the people that they cleared out or whatever, right?
That's like 100,000 of those jobs max.
Yeah.
It's like 10%.
I mean, and look, I was one of the people that like I definitely was more on board with that. I definitely think there was maybe a little bit too many people in the government, a lot of unnecessary people. Yeah, I don't know. I'm optimistic to see how things go. I know before, I don't think taxing people more and more was honestly the way to go, because that's the route that was also going down. Like people getting more and more taxed.
Who was doing that?
And no, like I was seeing it, like there's a lot of policies over in New York right now. Like Mamdani, he's going to raise taxes in certain areas.
Mamdani can't raise taxes.
I know he can't. But
then how's he going to raise taxes? You
like,
just said he was going to, and then you said he can't.
Yeah,
like that
was a misstep. That was one of the policies he was putting forward. Sorry, and like there was another, like I recently, I think in 2020 there was a bill that was being trying to pass where it was going to be taxing people more in groceries and stuff like that to help with the homeless.
See, people say they don't like taxes. It's not that people don't like taxes. People are wrong with that. People don't like where their tax dollars go. Right?
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
That's the issue. And here's the real difference between Democrats and Republicans. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Democrats, generally, their policies are guided towards sending that money back to the people. And Republicans, their policies are generally guided towards sending that money to the richest people alive. Right? Donald Trump's policies.
What was going on when they were sending it over to, like, this is what I meant by, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like with Biden, this was one of the things that, because before all the stuff came out about where their money was going, like, overseas, like LGBTQ over in
It's a bunch of
Nigeria.
bullshit, dude.
Yeah, like stuff like that.
No,
and
it's
I'm
not
like,
true, dude.
well,
They just
but
made
there
up
was,
shit,
there was
bro.
a lot of no, I didn't say the right example, but I know there was a lot of studies that they were doing. Like they were doing yeah,
Well, yeah, they were doing studies in America for things, right? There
Studies
are
in
studies
America.
that are guided towards,
course.
just like
but
if
I'm
you-
not talking about those. What about the money that was being sent overseas though, man? Like that was
money's still being sent overseas. We sent $40 billion
Yeah,
to
there is.
Argentina.
no, yeah, there is 100%. They're still sending money. I mean, obviously, bro, when they tried to stop a lot of them that were protesting, like not to send money, like because that's kind of unfortunately what our as the
Who
in the
was
position that
protesting
we
not
are
to
as a
send money?
country-
What?
No, to say that we were gonna stop. Like there was people, well, not protesting. There was a lot of people complaining.
I don't
about
think
it.
people realize like how us sending money to other countries is beneficial to Americans if done correctly.
Well, it depends for what. It depends for what. There was
Exactly.
a lot of stuff. Like yeah, like I mean, if they're going for schools and stuff like that, that's a big deal, right? But the things that I don't know, really. So, how much of the stuff that they said, because this is all like the government. At the end of the day, they have to take ownership for what they say. How much of what they said was bullshit then? If you're saying like,
Donald Trump
they
doesn't have to
sent
take
this amount of
ownership for
money-
anything he says. He says lies every single day. And no one calls him on any of it. He told 30,000 confirmed lies or misleading statements in his first term alone. What are you talking? Donald Trump doesn't take accountability for any of the lies he says, and nobody calls him on it.
I mean, bro, I disagree. I disagree that nobody tries to call him on it. I mean, there's people calling him a fascist, Hitler.
He literally
that
called for the
he's ta- that he's
hanging of
doing a
Democrats.
takeover.
He literally called for Democrats being hung publicly last week.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about like the people that, because he was talking in response to the people that were telling people in the National Guard to stand down and not
Incorrect.
follow orders. Well, that's
Nope, that's
well,
not what
okay,
they
well,
said
let's-
either. See, that's what Donald Trump told you that they said. They didn't say that.
I saw the clips of them saying it.
They said
Not
do not
directly,
follow
very indirectly.
unlawful orders
And why say that?
because they were
That's-
given
that's
unlawful
insinuating.
orders.
Okay, what unlawful order?
The unlawful order to kill 2 people on a boat that were surrendering.
I mean, look, bro, I get it, but that's never worked.
That is an
That never worked.
unlawful order. And currently, right now, the president of the United States' as press secretary is blaming the general who did it, saying that he committed a war crime, saying that it was an unlawful
no.
order.
There's a lot of people in the government right now saying it was a war crime. Look, what constitutes a war crime? Yeah, they surrendered. I get that. There's a lot of war crimes. That one to me doesn't seem like the worst type of war crime when there are people that are forcefully trying to bring more drugs into the country.
Sir, first of all, there was no proof that they were trying to bring more drugs into the country.
How do you know?
How do you
work
know
for
that
the
there was?
FBI, the CIA? I'm saying I trust them more than I trust some
Why?
guy
Over
on the internet
25
telling me that it's not true.
25% of the Coast Guard boats that are interdicted for drug running aren't drug running. Did you know that?
25%? No.
25%. So 1 in 4 of every single Coast Guard stop in the Caribbean that's to stop drugs wasn't smuggling drugs. Let's start there first of all. Second of all, even if they were smuggling drugs, that's not a right to kill them. All right? Just because somebody commits a crime doesn't mean that you have the right to now murder them. Okay? Now, even if hold on, sir. I'm not even close. We're not even close.
I interrupted a lot.
Third of all, even if you thought you did have the right to kill them because you thought they were combatants, which you don't, which is against all the laws of war and the Geneva Convention and DOD's own regulations that says you can't do that, right? Even if you could, as soon as they are no longer a threat, you cannot go back and then kill them. Okay, that's against the laws of war of the United States. That's against the Geneva Convention. That's against the laws of wars of the international community. That's against the laws of war of everyone. Okay, so I don't want to hear somebody talking about like, oh, how could why were they saying that they shouldn't follow unlawful orders? That's why, is because that general followed an order that was unlawful. Sorry, that admiral followed a order that was unlawful, and now that admiral is about to be fucking court-martialed for war crimes.
Hey, and if he gets in trouble, he gets in trouble. Personally, I don't think he should. But that's just where I stand. You know, you could feel the way you feel about it. You know, like over in Gaza, the people, Hamas, they're supposed to wear military outfits. They don't wear them. They're disguised as civilians. There's a lot of areas in the world where they're not going to follow those rules. And these people, the country that all those drugs are coming from, it's arguable that they're not knowing what's going on, but the likelihood is very low that the government isn't letting it just happen. Their government.
Sir,
I don't see the problem in
the biggest
shutting
drug,
it down.
The biggest drug in the United States is fentanyl, the one that's killing the most people. And that comes through Mexico from chemicals in China that has nothing to do with Venezuela. Okay.
All right. Do you know how people cross the border?
Hold on, sir. Less than 10% of what would be the most common drug out of Venezuela, that would be trafficked out of Venezuela, would be cocaine, and less than 10% of America's drug supply of cocaine comes through Venezuela. Okay.
Brother,
Everything
that's smuggled into the United States goes through Mexico first.
They're not bombing boats in Mexico. They're bombing them in Venezuela.
No.
We're talking about Venezuela.
They go all over the area, bro.
Sir, do you know where Venezuela's at?
I'm not saying but look, I have.
Did you say no? You don't.
I have people.
It's further away than Mexico.
Yeah, but it goes from different country to different country. It goes all over, and then sometimes it doubles back into. Into
what I'm explaining
areas.
to you is, if we had intelligence and we were trying to stop drug smuggling, Venezuela wouldn't even be in the top 5 of places that we would be hitting. The reason why Donald Trump is attacking boats in Venezuela is because Donald Trump wants the oil that's in Venezuela. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
and that's why
I'm
he's
sure
threatening.
interest, yeah.
And that's why he's threatening ground war in Venezuela. It has nothing to do with those boats. Let's be very clear on that. Second of all, let's be very clear that if the Trump administration, without providing any evidence, can kill people on a fishing boat 2,000 miles away from the American border, then what is stopping them from killing anybody, anywhere, and just saying there was a crime?
Well, look, man, I get it, but here's the thing, bro. The government's never had to be so transparent about anything, man. Just because, we demand to know this and know that and know this. Before Trump was there, we knew even less. Let's be real. We wouldn't hear anything from the government. You're actually lucky to even hear that they've been bombing them.
That's not true at all.
I think it is, because at the end of the day, there was a lot of different things. Like, what about the thing with I forgot his name. I think JFK. Yeah, the dude that got assassinated. That was all locked up for a very long time. There was no information really coming out of that, and they just let it be.
There is a big difference between a president getting assassinated and us bombing people in other countries that have no ability to get to the United States, that are surrendering and being murdered.
I mean, I agree with you. There is a difference, but I don't know, man. I don't see it as the same problem as you do. I get it. There should be some type of
Sir, whether you think about it as a problem or not, you were just making the claim that I was talking about Donald Trump calling for the execution and hanging of Democrats. And you said because they told hold on, sir, because in court, you think we hang people in courts?
Yeah, but he's
no, that is not what he was saying. He was literally talking about their murder, sir. Sir, he was literally talking about their murder. And then he did that because they told the military not to follow unlawful orders. And then you said, what unlawful orders? And then I was telling you the unlawful order, and you're just like, and you're like, no, bombing people that were hanging off the side of the boat. No, I'm telling you that it doesn't matter whether they are or not. If they are not posing a threat, you cannot kill them.
Brother, I'm telling you now, they do not care about you the same way that you care about them. I'm just telling you now.
People?
You want to glamorize?
Sir, you do realize that the last people that they actually took off those boats that survived, they tried to charge them with something. They had no crime on them and they returned them to their country?
No, I didn't.
They bombed a boat, same situation, except for this time they picked up the people instead of murdering them because they knew the first time they fucked up. They picked them up, and instead of charging them with a crime, they took them back to their country and released them with no charges because they weren't criminals.
What around where are they getting bombed? How far away is it? Like right off their shore?
2,000 miles away from the United States. In
And
boats
how many miles
that
away is
in
it
boats that
from their
cannot
shores?
go that far.
Do you know how many miles they are away from their own shores?
Sir, why does that matter?
It does, because that would show a clear intent of where they're trying to head to. If
You don't think
you said
fish-
how many miles?
How
out?
many miles
2,000.
how many miles could it possibly be off of Venezuela's shores where they couldn't have been fishing?
It could have been an infinite amount of miles, right?
Nope, there's a
But
finite amount of miles.
Oh yeah, I know. No shit. My point is like why it does matter. You're acting like it doesn't matter how far they're going away from their own shores, but it does.
Sir,
it does. It's not like they're bombing them off of their shores, right?
Sir, if the President of the United States and the Secretary of Defense would like to provide evidence that they had some intelligence that these people were drug smuggling, it does not matter, because even if they fucking were, that does not give you the right to murder them, because you don't know that every person on that boat even was doing that. You do realize that the majority of people that smuggle drugs out of Venezuela, it's because their fucking families are fucking kidnapped, and fucking gangs in there have kidnapped their fucking families and said, I'm going to murder your entire family unless you get on that boat and go that direction. And so we're literally murdering people that are doing it to just because their families are fucking kidnapped. And we don't even know that information, because the only way to find that information would be to actually stop the fucking boat and actually take the people, arrest them, detain them, and question them, so we know what the purpose that they were doing, actually take the cocaine or whatever they were bringing. That way we actually knew that they were doing that. But we're not doing any of that stuff because we're predator missiling them from fucking drones instead of getting any of that information. If we have enough intelligence that we can see that we think a boat is smuggling drugs, then we have enough information for the Coast Guard or the Navy or who the fuck ever to stop that boat and freaking take down whoever people. Now, if those people try to shoot at the Navy or shoot at the Coast Guard or whatever, and they try to resist, then of course the Navy and the Coast Guard have the right to defend themselves. But they are not doing any of that. They're not doing any violence. We do not have the evidence that they were actually doing any of this stuff, and we don't even know if these people had a choice in anything that they were doing, or that they're gang members, or that these boats were even carrying drugs whatsoever to begin with. We still don't have any of that information, and that is because they are just murdering people in the Caribbean.
Yeah, look, and I see your argument. I understand where you're coming from. I just think from my perspective, you gotta look at it from like, that's not our responsibility, man. Like, to do due diligence and make sure that they're there, like they're exactly what they're saying, but like that's one thing. I agree with that. It would definitely shouldn't be doing it to just regular fishermen, right? But the main difference here is like, look, man, if somebody is being forced to against their own will, that's not the responsibility of the United States government to try to figure out. And that's a very big if, right? Same, like the people that are trying to come across, I've known people that have done that, man. And not all of them come with the same reasons or the same intent. The only thing is like I had a friend, his dad, his brother, they were from Honduras, and they had to leave that area because I guess some gang stuff that his dad was involved in, and they killed his dad. So they came over, and then over here they were cool, they were cool for a little bit, but it ended up not working out. That
Sir,
doesn't,
if you're telling me it's not our problem, then why are we there bombing them?
Because they're coming into us, bro.
So you're
First of all,
telling
it's
us-
not like we're going
so-
over to their
so-
country and doing that.
So,
are we?
so it is our problem. You don't get it both ways.
It's our problem if they're. If it's
not
trying to,
our problem, then we shouldn't be dealing with it whatsoever. If it is our problem, then we need to be doing it humanely and legally.
You're
it's that
misconstruing
simple.
what I'm saying.
No,
just because
it's that
the
simple.
concerns of the other people's situation, that's not our concern. I'm saying the concern would be, to make sure that everything's done properly.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a simple question. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. And this is like a truly simple question. Okay, so what state do you live in?
California.
You live in California. Perfect. I'm from California. So let's say LAPD, right, is cruising around and they have a car that they suspect is smuggling drugs. Okay. Does the LAPD get to send out their SWAT team to gun down and murder whoever's in that car because they think that they have drugs?
No, obviously not. They
Why
would need
not?
a permit. They'd need all that.
No,
Yeah,
they don't need a permit. There is no
not the
permit for
permit.
murdering them.
No, I'm saying what's that thing called for them to?
You're talking
be
about a
able to go under
warrant?
whatever warrant? Yes.
Okay, and that warrant would allow them to do searches. They would have to stop the car, arrest the people, search the car, see if there was drugs in there. If there was no drugs, of course, they would have to let them go. They'd be wrong in that stop,
Yeah.
right? And if there is drugs, then they get to slap the cuffs on them, and then they have to go to trial, and there is a burden of proof, right? To say, hey, were these your drugs? And obviously, if they found the drugs in the car, probably not a hard court case to go through. And then those people go to prison for a long time because the penalty for smuggling drugs isn't execution, right? It'd be a jail sentence. So why do you think that the LAPD doesn't have the right, all right, to just gun down and murder people that they suspect of gun trafficking, but you think that the Navy or the Coast Guard do?
That's what are they? That's domestic. That's a domestic issue.
So you think murder is a domestic issue?
No, foreign.
Oh.
Murder, dude. If they had guns, that's what I'm saying. You get what I mean, right? Like the difference between this situation that you just laid out would be that this is a domestic issue, and there's a lot of different things that they have to go through before they even are able to go after these people, especially with SWAT. SWAT's a very intense group in the NYPD.
So let me ask you this
right?
question: Why domestically can we not do that?
Yeah, I mean, look, because it's domestic. That has to do with home.
And at home, domestically, why can't we just suspect someone of drug trafficking and just mow them down and kill them? Why can't we do that?
I mean, because let's be real, like that would be like fascism for sure.
That would not be fascism, but I'm asking you, like, just on a human level, why can't you do that? Human, legal, whatever level.
No, I mean, because it's wrong. Obviously, I get.
Why
the
is it
point you're
wrong?
laying out. Well, yeah, because you're not just supposed to kill people.
So you're not just supposed to kill people. So you do realize that these people in Venezuela are people.
Yeah, and okay, you do realize if they are bringing drugs, how many people have those people? I've had a lot of people die from overdose.
I don't know how many people because, again, sir, I don't know if they were carrying drugs because, again, sir, they are in boats that can't reach the United States. So there's no way they were headed here, sir. I do not know if those people on that boat.
All of them?
I don't know if any, sir, those boats could have been going to any fucking place on the face of the planet. We do not know where they were going. We do not know if they were carrying drugs. We don't know what the situation of the people were on there. We don't know if some of those people on those boats were being human trafficked. Maybe those people were the victims and those people were trafficking drugs and humans. And those people were innocent people that were being trafficked. And now they just got shot with a missile and killed for being victims. We don't know any of this stuff. The reason why we don't just mow down people in cars is because every different circumstance is different. Every single situation is different. And just because you suspect someone of a crime doesn't mean that you then get to murder them. Period. Sir. And that does not change regardless of whether you were domestically, it's domestic or it's foreign, whether it's in a foreign country in the jurisdiction of the United States or in international waters like these things are being committed. You do not get to decide life or death for people that are not posing an imminent threat to you in any way, shape, or form just because you fucking feel like it. And America doesn't get to do that just because we're the biggest, baddest motherfucker on the corner.
No, and I agree. You know, there's one thing though, like your whole argument is all depending on the assumption that the government itself isn't trying to do its due diligence. Like, yeah, there's going to be mistakes, like you said, where how those people, they weren't doing anything and then they got picked up, they weren't charged with anything and taken back home. Yeah, there's going to be a lot like that, and they got to probably figure that out. You know, they're probably going to have to. Maybe they can't keep just bombing. You know, but one thing, I personally don't see it as a problem to lock down and let people that are trying to bring stuff in that aren't stopping. They're going to continue. To let them know that, yeah, look, man, this is the thing that you're up against. If you think it's just so easy to keep coming in and you don't care, you live by your own laws, right? They don't follow international laws, man. You think that they give a fuck about international laws? They're going to keep doing it. I think it's definitely a good idea to shut it all down and not let people come back in. I don't think that they're just assuming that everybody's coming in is a criminal. I'm pretty sure they have at least minor intelligence, and if they are running off of just minor intelligence, they need more, right, to avoid issues like that. But I don't think it's a bad thing.
Sir,
of
you're saying that
them
I'm
locking
assuming
it
that the
down.
United States is not doing their due diligence. I'm
Do you work
telling
for
you,
do you
sir,
work for them?
sir, I am telling you that the
You work for
fact,
intelligence?
sir, I'm telling you that the fact that they aren't stopping them and they're bombing them shows that they're not doing their due diligence, because the due diligence, that is part of the due diligence. That's part of it. You don't get to shoot a fucking, in a war zone, you don't get to shoot somebody who's not a combatant, who's not firing at you. Like literally in Vietnam and World War II, you don't just get to just shoot people that are off on a boat that aren't combatants. You don't get to do that. That's not real.
Yeah,
That's not real,
was
sir.
already-
That is
wasn't there already a
inhumane. That is
declaration
inhumane.
not to enter those waters.
That is inhumane. Okay. Forget being illegal. All right. Forget the Geneva Convention. Forget the laws of war. Forget rules of engagement. Forget all of that stuff. It's inhumane. Okay. And I think that's my biggest problem with this entire thing, is that you, like as a human being, right, don't have enough empathy for other human beings, okay, that you don't understand that maybe they shouldn't just be killed indiscriminately. And that's, I think, what really scares me. Okay? Like the whole thing going on over there, like whatever, but like the ability for people that support this stuff, right, to be able to separate their minds from the fact that these are human beings. Like this is no different from your family, your friends. They are human beings. Okay, whether they committed a crime or not, they are still human beings. Okay, and human beings clinching onto the side of a boat for dear life, trying to survive when they are non-combatants, when they're not posing a harm, and we don't know if they're criminals or not, and killing them should disgust every other human being, every other one. Okay, these people are,
they should definitely change that. If they're already like that's, I could
They don't
agree
need to
with you
change
on
that, it's
that.
already
Just get
the
them
law.
out, but no, I agree with that, but I don't know, man. They could it's not that I don't understand. It's that sometimes you, at the end of the day, nobody's gonna watch out for you other than yourself. And if you think that everybody's gonna have the same vested interest in your safety and all that, you're confused, bro.
sir,
You're
at the end of the day,
100%
if you want to be
confused.
really
You don't
completely
think
honest,
you don't think they would
even-
throw somebody over the boat
even
themselves?
even if that was your case, sir, I will argue like immediately that in order to keep us more safe, the best way to keep us more safe would be to stop the heads of drug cartels and to stop the entire operation.
So invade foreign soil. So
sir.
you're a proponent of invading foreign soil then?
No, sir. What I'm saying is,
instead of stopping them from coming
sir,
in.
what I'm saying is killing peons does not stop the drug trade. Killing people on a boat doesn't stop the drug trade, but stopping them, interrogating them, finding out what they know and getting information on their bosses, and then possibly passing that on to the authorities of that country could actually slow down the drug trade, which would then keep us more safe. But
And you don't
killing
think
some
that they were-
person
they've been
who's
doing that?
so killing some person that whose family was kidnapped and they had no choice doesn't even put a fucking dent in it. Not a single fucking drug user in this fucking country
you don't think
is
they've been
going
doing
without sir, not a single person drug user in this country is going without their drugs because we're bombing boats in the Caribbean. Not a single fucking one.
So you don't think that before, Trump was doing all this, they were doing exactly what you just said?
Sir, Donald Trump just pardoned one of the largest narco traffickers that the United States has ever convicted. Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck about narco trafficking. He just
I'm not talking about that, man. I don't care if I already said I never thought he was the end all or be all. I don't look at him like some messiah that's going to save the country.
We're arguing about the administration taking out supposed narco terrorists, right? That's what they call them, right? Which isn't a fucking thing, right? We're talking about the administration taking out drug dealers. Don't tell me that Donald Trump is doing this in order to stop the drug trade in the United States while he is simultaneously pardoning someone who has trafficked like 400 tons of fucking cocaine into this country. He's doing it for the fucking oil. He's doing it as a preemptive strike in order to start a land war with Venezuela. That is it. Okay? This is not to stop drugs, and they don't even believe that it is.
You could be right, bro. You
could be right.
I'm not saying that isn't true.
He said
it.
No,
like, look, what he said that he's going in for the oil.
No, he said he's going to try to start a ground war. He said it's a possibility that we start a ground war soon.
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, like if they keep coming out, that was what he said. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, sir, is you can't be like, oh, we're killing these people because they're narco terrorists, right? Or whatever, and then pardon someone who's like a head of freaking drug dealers. You're literally killing peons in the drug trade and then pardoning the heads of their cartels.
Nah, I mean, look, I agree with that. He definitely shouldn't have pardoned that person. I don't know exactly the deal with that, right? Did he just pardon him to let him go? Did he get information? Who knows?
If he got information, then the president wouldn't have had to do it.
Wait, was he sent back to his country, or is he?
I don't really care. He literally trafficked 400 tons of freaking cocaine in this country. He shouldn't have been let out for a fucking day.
Care. I mean, look, man. This is what I'm saying. Is he under protective custody in the United States, or was he sent back?
Why does that matter to me?
Then it does, because that means that that he has to be protected because of information. It is very important.
I know they didn't get sent back. I know he didn't get. Sir, the whole point of gaining information is to get to him.
And look, if they got this guy, so what? Why didn't it all stop then? You're saying the goal was to get him, right?
The goal is to get all of him. Yes.
Yeah. So how are they going to do that?
How are they going to stop drug dealers?
How are they going to? Well, yeah, that's what you're arguing that.
Sir, you're never going to stop drugs. As long as people want drugs, you're going to get people that you're going to get people that traffic drugs. Drugs isn't going to stop. Okay. What I'm saying is you slow it by cutting off the head. You don't slow it by cutting off a piece of the tail.
Yeah, I get that. But here's the thing. You can't completely shut it down, at least for a little while, if you block that trail that they're coming in through, right?
We haven't done that because, again, less than 10% of the cocaine in the United States, which is not even the biggest drug that is killing people, comes from Venezuela. And we're not stopping any of the fentanyl, and we're not stopping 90% of the cocaine. So we're not doing that.
So what do you want to do?
Stop murdering people, preferably.
Go back to, but I mean, because like you were saying, oh, they need to get them and investigate. That's why I kept saying like, and what they weren't already doing that. As a matter of fact, do you think they
were not stopping boats in Venezuela?
I'm not saying that they weren't doing anything. I'm saying what, you don't think that they were already doing investigations for like at least since the drug on war started? And what, like you just want to go back to that and see how it works?
The war on drugs was just super. It was just racism. That was all that was. But regardless of any of that, okay. No, I do not want to go back to the war on drugs, sir. I think the best way for us to stop drugs entering this country, I think the best way for drugs to stop entering this country is definitely not the drug on war. But it would definitely be to freaking have better border patrol agents, to have better, protection at the border, to have better technology at the border, to have all of those things, right? Which would stop them from actually coming into the country, right? Maybe doing things like, like expanding the DEA, I think would probably be a very, helpful thing. Actually helping these other countries. I think that, like you said, you want to complain about money going to other countries, us using our soft power. One of the ways that we do that is actually by giving other countries money that actually helps them to be able to stabilize their countries, which helps them fight their own drug war, which stops drugs from coming in here. But I think the biggest way that we do that is to just stop criminalizing drugs and start making it a health epidemic, or start making it a health epidemic that it actually is, because we actually see other countries that have already done that, and they actually have a high reduction of drug use and drug trafficking in those countries.
Me and you actually might. That's probably the closest me and you have come to. Like I've had the same exact thought. I don't see. They should, in my opinion, it should be legalized here and then produced in the country, and then kind of like properly siphoned to people that are struggling, instead of letting those, because if you make it cheaper, if you make it more reliable than anything that they could get black market, where's the competition? I agree with you on that. I thought about that, but it's a wild concept to nobody would ever sign off on that.
Literally so many countries have.
I know, but the United States, I really don't. We're a few years away from that being legalized. A few, at least 20, I would say.
No, we're just a few conservatives away from that happening.
I wouldn't look. I wouldn't want it either because I also see the problems with that, man.
Of course, there's
Unlike
problems with everything,
I've
sir.
had
There's problems with
no.
everything.
I've had people. I've had a lot of family members that suffered from drug abuse
too.
and all that. So it's not okay. Then you understand. That's obviously. There's no saying that would perfectly work. I think. Are you referencing to?
So nothing
one
perfectly
country,
works. It's what gets people the help that they need in order to break their addiction, and criminalizing it doesn't do that. Okay.
Well, neither does encouragement.
Sir, nobody's
and when it's
encouraging
legalized, that would be
anything.
encouraging.
That is not
Yeah, it would.
that is not encouraging anything. It's not legalizing it,
does.
it's decriminalizing it. Okay, there's a difference there. All right. But
Okay,
second
so
of
can you
all,
explain?
okay.
Oh, all right, that's fine. We could.
Yeah, it's not something that we sell at stores now. Okay, it's not something that
So
you can
then-
get on your DoorDash. You're like, can I get 8 ounces of
people-
fucking meth? Okay, it's not that. That's
So-
not the way
so
it
they
fucking
would
works.
still be
But
sold
it
on the
means
street?
that people that are already addicted have the ability to get that or a substitute that's close enough in a clean spot where they don't spread disease. All right, and they're able to get it from in front of medical professionals where they don't die.
Yeah.
Right.
That was my intention.
And
I
then
didn't
they
mean,
don't
like,
get
stores,
sent to
like
prison
hospitals.
where it makes it worse, right? Because criminalizing doesn't help anything of it. And then it gets rid
It
of
helped
things
my
like
dad.
drug traffickers and all that sort of stuff because there's no need for them. And then it stops all the violence from the drug trafficking because, of course, you can get it there. So there's no more drug dealers. There's no more drug trafficking. There's none of the violence that comes along with it. You still have the addicts, right? But then those addicts are actually going to a place where they can get the help that they need all the time, and it's cleaner and it's safer.
No, trust me. I agree with. That's why we both have had that similar idea. When it comes to all that, it is a slippery slope. And by the way, if you don't think people would eventually, because there's still going to be dealers and people are still going to be going to them, if they run out of the amount that they were supposed to only take, or if, let's say, they got blacklisted.
It looks like you're looking for like an argument that ends in perfection.
No, I mean, it's not that it's imperfection. I'm more looking at it. Does it cause more problems than actual solutions?
It doesn't. It causes more solutions than problems. Because
I've
again,
been around too many people
sir,
using drugs, man.
Have you been to a country that has already done this? Because their drug problem is so incredibly minimal, it's scary.
Can you tell me which one? I've only heard of I think Amsterdam, where they did something kind of like that.
I think
I know that's not a country, but
most of the Baltic countries, most of the Nordic countries, multiple places in Europe.
I mean, in Europe right now isn't looking too good with the drugs. To be honest, I don't think.
Sure,
that's
I'm
the
not
best
talking about the
example.
whole, all of Europe. I'm talking about the countries in which have done that.
You said Europe. I was just replying to that, but no, I get you. Yeah, I mean, I would have to look into how those places are doing more, But I mean, are you talking about small scale countries, or are you talking?
Why do people think that like the size of the country changes the policy?
Well, you were talking about how the GOP is so much better in smaller countries. Why did it matter then? See, I'm paying attention to what you're saying.
The GOP is stronger in other countries. What?
Well, you were talking about we were talking about Poland and all that stuff, like how those countries are doing better, and the size was very important then, right? The size of a country matters because of the amount of people that need to be medicated, the amount of people that would need those resources, the amount of areas that would need districting and all that.
You would need those resources,
but
but because we're larger, we have more resources. They are smaller
Yeah.
countries. They need less resources, and they have less
That's the
resources.
point. Yeah, that's the point.
So it's per capita.
They're
even.
structured different.
Yeah, we're just structured poorly.
I mean, it's tough, man. Have you ever tried to try building a giant fucking tower? It gets harder the bigger it gets, right?
Yeah, that's a false equivalency. But anyways, I've been talking to you for like an hour, so I'm going to move on to somebody else. So I hope you have a good one.
Have
All
a
right.
good night, brother.
All right. It's making my head hurt. All right. Luigi says everyone knows you steal your deodorant from Walmart. I should. My deodorant's expensive. I use that native shit. It's like aluminum free and stuff like that. Anyways, I should start stealing it. Walgreens gets or CVS gets too much of my money. It said I could tell you, but I won't. You tell me what? Tell me that I should buy my own deodorant, I guess. No, actually, dude, I went away from that stuff. Mine works great. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It works great. I do sweat it quite a bit sometimes, but it works great. I smell awesome. I smell amazing. So I don't know what you're talking about. Loyalty, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said Trump is mad. Biden and Obama have some more. Some more what? Done not some. Oh, wait, done not some. Have done more. Gotcha. Have done more. Have done more. We got there. Sorry, Loyalty. I actually used to use Old Spice. I did. I used to use Old Spice, but I actually really like the native stuff. I think it's really nice. It smells really good too. I can't stand. So I have a thing about smelling.
It's insane.
I hate. I can't. I can't do it. Sasquatch is good, or Squatch is good. I've heard Squatch is good. Anyways, lovely guys, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I said I thought MAGA wanted us to stop being the world police, but it's okay with bombing alleged drug boats. Yeah, it's okay as long as Trump says it's okay. All right, yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, lovely goddess. Freddie with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Said happy belated birthday, friend. It was my birthday yesterday. Aw, thank you so much. That's very sweet. I'm 55 years old now. It said, for all you do, you're the first live I liked right away and supported. Best chat ever is a bonus. I do have the best chat ever. Can I get big W's in the chat for my chat? Can I get big W's in my chat for my chat? Dr. Squatch is freaking awesome. It's all used now. I'll check that out. Big W's in the chat for the chat. Let's get that. Also, apparently I need to try Dr. Squatch deodorant. Thank you, Toddy. I appreciate that. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Thank you so much, Freddie. That was awesome. Tobin, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says System of Down said it best. All research is successful drug policy shows that treatment should be increased while law enforcement decrease and abolishing mandatory minimum sentence. System of a Down said that? God, I love them. That is absolutely awesome. System of a Down. I can't go see System of a Down because they won't play in my state due to politics. Which honestly, I love them for that. To be completely honest with you, they won't play in Florida due to politics, and I kind of love them for that. Honestly, I didn't want to go see them. Anyways, if anybody wants to know what I want for my birthday, I do wear a size. The Foo Fighters are going on tour next year, so just thought I'd let you guys know that. Anyways. 77, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said, Paulie, I missed your birthday yesterday. You came on earlier than usual. I love your live and respect your informed responses. For these callers who are usually unprepared and uninformed, happy belated birthday. Thank you so much. Yes, I did go on earlier yesterday. I'm not 55. It was a joke. I turned 39 yesterday. Okay, it was a joke. I did go on early yesterday because Ari took me out to dinner. And so we got off early so Ari could take me out to dinner. And I had an excellent dinner. I got very fat. It was excellent. I loved it so much. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all the happy birthdays. Yes, I'm 39 years old now. Just as of yesterday. I had my happy birthday sign. Ari said I should have kept it up. See, I had it up yesterday. Woo! Ari said I should have kept it up because apparently I get a birthday week. I don't know. Maybe I'll hang it back up tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe I'll just wear it. Should I? Ah. Maybe I'll just wear it like I'm Flavor Flav. You know what I'm saying? We'll just go like this. Yeah, boy. I think I might have lost the letter there. All right. Anyways, I'm over here being stupid. Thank you so much, 77. I really appreciate that. Yeah, boy. Anyways, y'all. I'm going to call it a night. I'm tired. I didn't sleep very well last night anyway, so I'll be back on tomorrow around normal time. Hope to see you guys then. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. All right. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. All right. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Check out the content. Rewatch any lives you missed. It helps out the live a lot. I appreciate you guys. All right. All right.